I'm Alexander Hanks. I am a marketing major at Utah State, and I am a sophomore.
My name is James Kerrigan. I'm a marketing major as well, and I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Camila Cárdenas, and I am a marketing major, and this is my last semester.
All right, so for the first question for our podcast, what are the advantages and potential drawbacks of pledging to give away one's entire fortune during their lifetime? This is based on Huntsman's approach.
I think the initial drawbacks of giving away a lot of your money is the way that a lot of people will see how much money you actually have, and to be like, oh, can I get some of that? Or like, what are you gonna actually do with it and keep your word? And I think it's kind of hard to if you say something that you're gonna do and you have to keep it, you have to keep your word to make sure that you're on the right track.
Yeah, you really have to make sure that you're staying true to your promise and you're not just saying you're gonna do it. You're actually committing to that promise. I agree. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so John Huntsman, I remember from the reading that he was just mentioning a lot that success is a tool and purpose is the plan. And so he made it his whole idea to just help others on his cancer research. And I think that's what driven him to just keep working on that given purpose.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to leave the world in a better place than he started it, and with his medical problems that he had himself, as well as his family medical problems, I think it really shows that he had a strong passion for that, and he really wanted to make a difference in the world and help so that people didn't have to experience the same things that he had to. I think that's really strong with throughout the entirety of the book. Um, so yeah. All right. Here's we have one more question on the Huntsman one. The book recounts both personal tragedies, such as the loss of his daughter, and the battles with cancer and triumphs. How do these experiences shape your understanding of resilience and purpose?
I think a lot of about that is resilient to not only lose one of your family members, and to have the understanding of keep driving and keep going makes a huge difference in to see how people look at you and want to be more like you, to keep on going and don't stop. I think it's great to make sure that you know where you're going, and to not just be loose by all the stuff that's happening in the world.
Yeah, I like to have a clear direction or path.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Also think that it did really help him, make sure that, he didn't want other people to have these same problems. And, those are some crazy battles to go through. And, the fact that he persevered and he was still able to be successful and pledged that he really wanted to, make a purpose in the world and make it better than how he left it, I think is just the overall thing that he really was trying to, live towards and live for.
Yeah.
You have any?
Yeah, he built his empire with integrity and resilience and aim for success with a specific plan to achieve his goals. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think once you have a plan to get things done, it kind of goes back to that integrity and keeping your word. And I think that's a big part of who he was, and to make sure
successful. Sorry.
Yeah, no, to make sure he was sticking to that, and I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he made so many risks throughout his life, almost going bankrupt, and then just saying, "We're not going bankrupt. We're not going bankrupt. We're not going bankrupt," and just taking those risks, being able to do that. I mean, donating your entire worth—that's also a risk. Saying I'm going to donate all of or most of my money to a better cause.
And to have that mindset as well.
Yeah.
To just keep on going.
I mean, instead of leaving a family legacy,
yeah,
he's leaving a social legacy, which I think is super important. He's not just benefiting his family; he's benefiting everybody else that is struggling in this world.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's huge. Honestly, like I kind of want to leave that maybe something if I can get that much money, but yeah,
maybe in the future when we have those.
Yeah. We have
the funds
crazy
for
jobs
that.
and honestly cool cars and stuff like that.
What do you think the most important qualities for someone seeking to make a positive impact on the world is?
Ooh. Honestly, it's kind of. I think you have to have a great mindset. Like that's like kind of thing number one. And to have like, there's multiple that you can like say is number one, but I think like if you keep your mind in the best place possible, and to say that you're gonna do something, no one can stop you. Like it's not like you're just gonna go all over the place.
Unbreakable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
You
I
can
think it's. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry.
I think it's like mainly just like to keep one goal and go towards it instead of just having like a bunch of them and be overwhelmed and not focusing on whatever you have to do to achieve it.
It's huge, honest.
Yeah, and I think Huntsman was such a down to earth guy that he did really want to make a positive impact. I mean, his dad was very like abusive and whatnot, and growing up with that, like anybody that has to go through that would say the same thing. Say, "Oh, I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. I'm gonna completely vow to be 100% different than." Say what my dad was. So I think that's one of those really. It takes a certain past to make a certain person. I think that's especially true in this.
Yeah.
In this case.
And I think that kind of goes to the other book that we had to read, Career or Campus to Career.
Campus to Career from Sue Schellenbarger.
Yeah, I think that's huge to leave a legacy because they're all just like wanting to leave like so much on the table or take so much off the table that we are kind of just wanting to like go and like try and one up the other person basically and make as much money as possible to leave a legacy like John did.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to have that balance of being able to pursue in the office as well as in your personal life and within your family. So
yeah,
that's why I think it's so important to, as you were saying earlier, have a work-life balance.
Yeah.
For
I think because it's kind of like we're all still in college and some of us had jobs and stuff like that, and to either have, it's kind of like our school is our work, and then we have a social life right after it.
Yeah.
And I think like to get both of those right now is huge for like people who like, not saying like people that are homeschooled or like not really missing the social life. It's just that they're not really like working towards getting like the best job possible because they only know one thing. And I think once you go to like campus or you go somewhere, you see multiple job offers pop up and you get to talk to people to have like that huge network.
Super important.
Yeah.
Networking is important.
Oh yeah. Huge.
One of the biggest things that you can have within your career, but
And how do you guys manage how to respond to when you make mistakes or you experience a bad run of bad luck?
In my experiences, I lawn mowed since I was like 10, and there's always one written rule, and it's always to go around the perimeter a couple times after to make the lawn look good. And I always kept forgetting. And so my sister, as my boss, she would get on me, like, no matter what. And it's not like she was just telling me, like, you need to get better and stuff like that. It was just telling me, like, if you don't look back at what you did, you're not going to appreciate what happens. And so, like, it's always good to have people, like, give you expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and you always have to stick with that to make no mistakes.
I agree with that. Also, like within when you encounter like a setback or like something with bad luck, you got to think about like life's gonna have its peaks and troughs, and you're never gonna be just always in the middle. Because if you were always in the middle, what would you bring to the table? If you're in a low spot, you're gonna get out of it at some point.
Yeah.
It's just all about time and putting in the work to get out of it. Yeah, I think a run of bad luck, as in like if you were to be at work and you turn something in, it's the wrong format, and you thought it was great, and somebody else thought it was bad. That's gonna happen. You just have to use it as a learning experience. You gotta use all those bad lucks and bad runs and mistakes as learning experiences, and just think about how you can look back and how you can improve on those, and hopefully be able to.
Yeah. In my case,
add to it.
I have multiple jobs on campus, and on top of that, I'm a senior, so I for sure miss a lot of deadlines. But I always like know when to acknowledge that it was my fault and ask for maybe a new deadline and try to ask for feedback too. And what can I do to make that assignment or that recording or whatever I'm doing a 10 out of 10 to meet their expectations. Just be clear to what they are expecting from me and make sure that I acknowledge.
All right, I think we have one last question here.
How can you benefit from negative feedback, and what are the steps that you can seek out for constructive criticism?
I think it's really important coming from somebody I think it's almost more important coming from someone like learning how to give negative feedback or how to give constructive criticism in a way that you're not actually like hurting somebody's feelings or just putting them down. Because I think too many people in this world don't know how to address like saying, oh yeah, this is great, and I think that we can improve this way, rather than saying, oh, I think this is great, but we need to change this side of the thing. It's like those are two very easy changes, and it's like one word, and versus but, and it just changes the way that people are going to take it.
Yeah.
And the tonality that people are really going to have with that. I don't know, that's one thing I think is super important.
I think also negative feedback isn't a bad thing at all. A lot of people think especially in this world, that negative feedback is the worst thing you possibly could have. And I think it's a lot of people need to know that if someone's giving you feedback, it's good to say yes, I'll definitely improve on that. It's not saying that your work is horrible. It's just saying that you need to get a little bit better to make the best product possible.
Yeah, and I remember the professor mentioning last class that Utah is like a bubble. Like people are extremely nice, and sometimes negative feedback doesn't sound like it. And so in my case, I do have a lot of negative feedback from my work, and the way I handle it is just by taking notes, and making sure I meet whatever they're asking me to do, and just hope for the best for the next time.
Yeah, I think that's great. Well, we're about out of time, and I think we really covered everything that we wanted to. Those were some really great books to read, and I think I'll really take back a lot of values from my life. So
yeah, I like that as well.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening.